Seconds, go ahead.
Okay, we all know about the Aflac duck, and we all think we know it's about insurance. So I thought this was a funny little cartoon. It says, hey, wait a second, Eileen. I don't think he's selling insurance. After all, this little guy needs to make an appointment. So he has Aflac. All right, my screen's not moving. The PowerPoint doesn't want to advance. Okay, here we go. All right, have you ever experienced something like this? So you're a customer and you explain what you want, and this is what you explained. Then the person goes and explains to the project leader, this is what the project leader thinks you want. And then the analyst writes about it, and that's what they think you want. And the consultant thinks you want this. The consultant thinks you want this. This is how he describes it. This is how the project was demonstrated. This is actually what they installed from operations. This is what you were billed. This was how it was supported. And this is what you really wanted. Have you ever experienced anything like that? The single biggest problem in communication is the illusion that it has taken place. So we think we've told, but we haven't. Have you ever been in a situation like this? Confused? Not knowing for sure where to go? I just moved to LA recently, so I'm learning all this stuff. Or how about this? I'd be scared to death. Or have you felt this? I kind of feel that way right now in some ways. Well, if you felt any of these things, you want to pay real close attention to what I'm going to tell you in the next few minutes. I'm going to tell you how you can successfully navigate through revolutionary change and make it work for everybody. Hi, my name is Dr. Forbes. I'm the author of the upcoming book, The Forbes Way, How to Lead Based Upon Integrity, Innovation, and Ingenuity. I'm a professional speaker, coach, and consultant, and I have worked successfully in system changes for over 15 years. Have you ever felt like this piece of music? Things are going along really wonderful, and the music as well, and then all of a sudden, everything falls apart. It's jumbled. You get confused. You don't know what to do. I've had that kind of experience. I'm sure many of you have. I remember a time when I was working for a company, and two people above me were replaced. And in the process, things changed, but I didn't know it. I don't know if they knew it. I was in charge of training, and so I worked with groups, and I worked with distance, and they had to work together for collaboration processes, and that was my job description. Well, I was in a meeting working at the initial kickoff one year with all of my team leaders and trying to set up everything, and right in the middle of the meeting, my music notes just jumbled and piled up when one of the team leaders raised his hand and said to me, oh, I've just talked to your boss and they gave me permission to do da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. And immediately the dominoes fell, because what had happened is by my boss above making that change, it had changed several other things that they weren't aware of. And it made it impossible for me to carry out the kinds of things that I was setting up. Well, needless to say, I didn't stay with that company after that. I moved. But the change process really became like an experience. So when I learned about these 3 principles that I'm going to share with you, it helped take away a lot of the frustrations about change. First offhand, change is a process. It's not an event. And I think many times we think it's an event. Second principle is individuals, and first the change happens with individuals and then organizations. You know, this is hard because I'm not talking to a group of people and I can't see your faces, so I'm having a hard time. I do so much better when I'm connecting to people up front. Anyway, we start out with an individual change and then it goes to organizations. Then the other key thing is change is a very, very personal event. And I think sometimes we forget that. Now, these are 3 critical keys that you have to understand, and you may already understand them, especially if you own a business and you're working with things. But there are some tools, secret tools, that haven't been exposed to the business world that help you work with these 3 critical keys. Can we all agree that change is happening to us in the 21st century, whether we like it or not? And change can be a disaster, or we can ride it through, and we can navigate through successfully and make it even better. So if you own a business and you might be unsure about something or fearful about something as the change is coming, or even stressed, you will want to attend. All right, let's see. You will want to attend my upcoming seminar. And I haven't decided. I think it's going to be 3 hours, but it might be 4. I'm not sure. This is going to be a first-time event. This is a follow-up session from what I've shared with you today. In this seminar, not only are we going to talk about the 3 keys, but we're going to talk about the 3 principles, the 3 tools to use those 3 keys and how to make them work. Not only are we going to talk about it, but you're going to experience it. You're going to bring some problems, some challenges you're facing, and we're going to do a simulation so that when you leave, you'll actually have some tools you can take back and use in your company or in your business to help bring the change along. You can be among the very, very first people to learn and use these powerful tools in the business world. This is a groundbreaking event, and you're not going to want to miss it. It can revolutionize your leadership and your business. You know, so many times we just work harder at what we know. And I think that's what we all have heard is the definition of insanity. So, how many of you want your life and business to improve? Wonderful. How many of you are willing to learn how to change your life and business for the better? Great. So if you're willing to do something different and get the fantastic results or get the results that you want, raise your hand. Fantastic. You know, when our life is over, or when we look back on our life, it's not the things that we've done that we're going to regret. It's the things that we haven't done, that we had a chance, that we're going to regret. Don't regret missing this initial kickoff of this event. And Jerry, I know I need some help in this piece here of how to do the bonuses and make the call. And I know I'm thinking back on your part where you talked about this instant speaker program, so some of that same principles of things, because this is something new that hasn't gone to the business world. So I need to put that piece in there. But so I'm trying to create the energy and the urgency, and then tell them to go for it. And as soon as we have break, to go to the back of the room and sign up. And I forgot to say, if you're an owner of a small business or a company and you want change, or you want tools to facilitate successful change, you'll definitely want to go back and sign up after this for the session, the follow-up session. Okay. I need lots of practice.
Okay, 4:15. Okay, so
I'm finished.
That's okay. Give me control of the screen. No, yeah, give me control of the screen if you could. James, can you make that happen?
Let's see. Now, I can't do that. I think the facilitator has to do it. Yes.
Okay, so let me just see. You started at 4:05. It's now 4:16. So you went for about 11 minutes or so. So you there's some things that you got to add here. Okay. So first of all, I'm going to be frank, but I sort of need your permission to do that. I want to be.
Oh, I want your permission to do that. I have no problem.
Okay.
Just tell me. That's what I'm here for.
Okay, good. So there's a lot of work you got to do. Where are you speaking?
Okay. LA.
Okay, so you've got to add a few things to it. Okay, so first of all, I would probably rate that a 4, and it's got to get to a 10. So a couple of things. Let me go through. I don't have your slide, so I can't. I don't have your current slide. So you're gonna redo your slides according to my PowerPoint slide show.
Yes, I'm taking notes.
Okay, and then I'm recording this as well. So if that's okay with you. Let me just hold on a second.
Please.
I just want to make sure that that's okay, and then.
It's fine.
Okay, so I like the questions at the start. So that was good. The motorcycle picture is not high res, I believe. Yeah, it's not high res. So if you can try and find, I know this is a unique picture, and it may not be available in high res, but
I'll check.
If you could just check that. And along with any other slides, but I mean, I like it. It's a good slide. I like the fact that at the start, you know, your slides are coming about this fast. Do you ever feel like this? I just moved to Los Angeles. And, you know, you don't want this sort of thing to happen. I feel like this sometimes. Do you ever feel like this? Like that is good pace. You know, I would rather say you have more slides than not enough. But again, this is a low resolution slide, and it'll take away from your. Okay,
the paper one is low resolution.
Absolutely, yeah.
Okay, I'll work on that.
Just look at that one in comparison to this one. It's 1,000 times crisper. So, you mentioned that you were head of you were doing training for a company. See, that would be a good opportunity for you to milk it better, to position yourself. I call it Kool-Aid. So you're talking about yourself, and so you could say something like, you know, I used to work with this large company, and I was head of training, and you know, I would put on classes every single week, and you know, I would sometimes teach 5 people, sometimes 20, sometimes 150 people. So I really get the idea of doing trainings. Okay, see what you've done there? You've just sold yourself to them. You know what your position was, how good you were, and everything, but they don't. So you want to milk those things a little bit better. Now, the main problem that I had with this whole talk is I didn't know what the hell you were talking about. So I didn't hear what your main deliverable was going to be. And so it should sound like this. Ladies and gentlemen, I have just a few minutes to come here. By the end of my talk today, I'm going to show you 4 ways in which you can handle change, because change is coming to you, and I want to give you 2 good strategies that you could use within 10 minutes of leaving this seminar. See, now I know what the heck you're talking about, because you started going on, and I had no idea what this was about. You mentioned change a couple of times, but and this was my biggest complaint is I didn't know what you were going to deliver to me. And what I got was platitudes. You know, you You gotta, that life is not an event, it's a journey. That, that you're an individual and not an organization. That you gotta be personal. That is a bunch, to a most audiences, that sounds like quack, 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 look at me. I don't know what that, I need specific strategies. When you're done here today, I'm gonna give you one website you can go to evaluate your stress level. I'm gonna give you I'm gonna show you 3 things to ask if you're about to go into change. And I'm going to show you one thing that you need to do if you're in the middle of a storm. And I want specific things. I want you to tell me how to rate my ability to handle change. Ask yourself these 3 questions and give yourself 2 points for each yes answer. I don't know what those things are, but I want specific strategies from you, not platitudes. The slide that you use, again, if I could just go over here, this is called clip art. I don't want to see any clip art. That just makes you look like an amateur. That was last century. Get rid of anything that may take away from you. Now, the other thing you said, which really annoyed me, is you said, now you may already know all this. Well, then why are you here? I need, what I need is, ladies and gentlemen, you have experienced change, but what I want to do is get you to think about something you've probably never thought about before. And I don't know what that is. I don't know what your answer is, but give me something I don't know. Are you aware that cortisol levels and cortisol is responsible for heart attack? Are you aware that a recent study from Harvard Medical Journal suggested that people in the middle of change increase their potential for a heart attack by 62% because of the cortisol level? I mean, give me something that I don't know. Okay. So I want to know. I want something different. Now, by 4:11, so that was 6 minutes into your talk, I only had one story. And that was a short little story, less than a minute, that you talked to me about where your boss did something and you left the company. I want more stories. I want to hear, I'm a mother of 4, and I know what it's like to, be at my ends. I'm an entrepreneur, and one day I was trying to pay the bills, and all of a sudden I got a $1,400 tax bill, and I didn't know what I was going to do. The interest rate was 7% on that every month, and I was freaking out, and then all of a sudden, my roof fell in, and my goodness, I just thought to myself, what am I doing? You know what I mean? I want that.
Okay.
I don't want platitudes. I want to know who you are. And I want to know why what you're saying is important to me. So, and whether it's your stories personally or it's the stories from somebody else. Let me talk to you about a friend of mine named Mary. Mary lived on a farm. And her husband one day fell off the roof and he broke his back, and for 19 months he was in bed, and she had to run this farm, and she talked about change. And if you're an entrepreneur, so try and relate it back to them. So if you're an entrepreneur in small business, you don't know what's going to happen in the economy next year. You better be prepared for change. You need to have these 3 things operational in your life. You need to have a fallback position. You need to have a fall forward position, and you need a backup plan. What I mean by a fallback position, you need at least 6 months of income. Give me actual data. Give me relate the story back to me. And you see, if you only went for let me just see here. You just went like 11 minutes. And if you're trying to teach, and if you've got an audience in front of you, your chances are you'll speed up even more. So the thing that slows you down is personal stories.
Okay.
So I would do that. Okay, so now the follow-up session. First of all, you said, and that may have been a question to me there. I'm not sure if it should be 3 or 4 hours.
It was. Yeah.
So it should be 90 minutes to 2 hours.
Okay.
Because it should be from 7 to 8:30 or so, 7 to 9. The other thing is you want to sell it that night. So you want to put a slide in there for the date, the time, put a picture of the hotel in there if you know where you should know where it's going to be. And James will ask you this closer to the event, but we need to know when you're going to do it. And then you need to, before you lock it in with the hotel, you need to check with James because there's other people and we don't want to offer 2 follow-up sessions right after, on the same night. You need a slide that says, normally these types of seminars will sell for $300, $400. I'm giving it today for $199. And again, this is just a decoy pricing because we're going to give everybody a free ticket eventually. So, but sell it. Tell us what we're going to learn. I don't know I wrote down here, I don't know what this is all about. I don't know what I'm going to get at the end of the at the follow-up session. You're telling me I should go to a follow-up session, but I don't know why. You said it's going to revolutionize your business, but you don't tell me how.
Okay.
You don't tell me what parts of my business is going to revolutionize. So what I'm looking for things like, so if you come to this follow-up seminar, it'll be a worthwhile investment of your time and your money. It's only $195. But I'm telling you something, at the end of this, you're going to see your business much differently. Why? Because I'm going to give you a personal return on investment calculator. I'm going to show you exactly the money it's costing you and how you can save at least 38.7% of your income. I don't know what you're going to offer, but I'm going to show you how to have a difficult conversation, and I'm going to show you 5 ways for you to negotiate with a disgruntled employee. Or I'm going to show you 5 things never to say to a customer. Whatever it is, but tell me concrete things that I'm going to get at the end of the talk. Just a small point, again, because I'm a fanatic about slides. One of the things, if you take this slide, for example, you want to stretch this across the entire slide. So see how now all of a sudden it's going right to the edge? And that looks a lot better than the way you had it, which was like this.
Yes, I see that.
You've got this hard edge here. I don't like that. And so what I would recommend you do is you make it full, and this looks so much more professional.
Okay.
Now this particular one is clip art, and it's also low res. So you can find something that's similar to this, but just not clip art and not edge. The other thing is you see this slide. Whoops, let me go back. The Einstein slide. See, again, I would fill the entire screen. All this gray around here is distracting. So, so one of the things I recommend, you see how you got this website on the bottom here?
Yeah, that was on the graphic.
Get rid of that. So you just double click on the image, you crop it, you just simply raise it up above the thing. Now, what I would do is I'm gonna try and fill the screen with it as much as I can. But so I would go like this. I would center it, even though it might cut off a little bit of his head. You see here, I've got.
That's much better.
You see the T, the G is cut off. So just move it over a little bit. It's better to you want to focus on this quote. See, this is much better than the way you handle it. See here again, you got the slow drive logo here on the bottom. You want to get rid of that. And then at the end, you got to have a strong call to action. So let me just show you what I would do. So
that I know I need. Yeah. Well, I need help with all of it, but I know that was really
follow-up seminar. Let me just get rid of this. So I will say date Monday. May 2, 2015. Time 7. So you gotta make it clear to them. 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. Hotel. I don't know. Sheraton Parkway. Sheraton Parkway Hotel.
Okay.
Hotel. And then what you want to do is put a picture of that hotel here. And then you put investment, and then just put $199 today only, and then make that big, and put a picture of the hotel. You just go to Google, find a picture of a hotel, of the actual hotel that you're going to be at, and that's all you got to do. Make sense? And then tell them.
Yes, it does. And you've recorded this whole thing, including the video part?
Yes, I've recorded this whole session, and it'll be uploaded later on today. And then James can, I'll send you. James will make sure to send you the link.
Okay, perfect. I really appreciate your feedback.
Oh, you're welcome.
Thank you so much.
So now, what you got to do? Are you also aware? Are you also aware that when you're teaching this, there's a presenter view? So if you go into Power, are you seeing my screen right now?
Yes, I am.
So if you go to View in PowerPoint and click Presenter View, this is the way I would recommend that you have it, so that you can see.
Okay, and that's I remember you told us that in you taught me about that, and then I didn't remember where it was.
Yeah. So if you go to PowerPoint and you click View, go to Presenter View, and that tells you what the next slide is that's coming up. Because if you're here and you're talking about Einstein, which is the one on the left, you know that the next one coming up is about don't regret the things I've done. So at the end of this, you're able to maybe set this next slide up, and at least you know what's coming up next.
Oh, and is that the elapsed time? Will that count the time for the whole presentation?
Yes, you'll see the elapsed time, and so that'll give you an indication of where you should be.
Okay.
All right. You have 20 minutes. Now, in your case, you want to put in a few more stories. And
I will, but I'd rather go short than long. But I'll fill the 20 minutes.
Yeah, and then
I do well over this. I do much better face to face.
Yeah, I agree. And so what I want you to do is fix those slides and send them back to me.
I will.
Good.
Thank you so much.
Pam, before you go,
yes?
Thank you for accepting Jerry's tough coaching. With your permission,
that's what I'm here for.
I know it is. Thank you. And with your permission, I'd like to share this with all the instant speaker participants. May we do that by circulating it with everybody else's videos?
No problem.